We're here at Burke Lake today. We did our annual daytime electrofishing community survey, which means we're putting electricity in the water and watching fish roll up. We did 3 runs at 1,200 seconds, which is 1 hour of pedal time, and we caught a ton of fish, a ton of bass, a ton of, what was our bass catch rate, Mike?
255 an hour.
255 bass an hour. That's one of the highest catch rates we've seen in any lake this year, higher than the river, Potomac River, Virginia tributaries. That's a really good catch rate for bass. Now, we didn't see a lot of what people would call trophy bass here. Well, by that I mean, fish in the 8-pound range, fish over 21 inches. Some lakes we've seen some higher numbers of those fish. But if people just want to catch a lot of nice-sized bass, Burke Lake right now is a great place to fish. The water willow, it's that grass that goes along the shoreline. It's wonderful habitat. Right now the fish are on the edge of that. In another week or two they might be a little deeper beyond it, but as long as we kind of stay in the cool zone here, the fishing will be real good along the edge of that water willow or the grass habitat. Anywhere in the lake, anywhere they find that grass, fish that. As it gets warmer, fish a little bit deeper on those drops close to that willow. $34, $41, bass 41, $39, 31, red ear 21, red ear 22. The red ears are getting ready to spawn, they're about to burst. So we saw a phenomenal number of huge brown bullheads. That's our native catfish here in Virginia. We have channel catfish, which we stock here, are technically not native, although they're naturalized. They've been here for 160 years, probably. People think them as good, not like the blue catfish, which kind of has a bad reputation on the tidal rivers. People have illegally stocked blue catfish in here, just like snakeheads, and we didn't see any blue catfish today. They were probably too deep. This is a shallow technique to survey fish, and it doesn't work in deeper water. We did see snakeheads today. We put, I think, 12 or 13, and we took them out. We removed them. We will dissect them for various data analysis, see how old they are, see what they've been eating, see if they've spawned yet. But for the number of bass that we caught, in context with the number of snakeheads, early on people were concerned that the snakeheads are going to destroy the bass. That hasn't happened. In fact, what we've seen now is more bass than ever. And so there seems to be plenty of food to go around. We didn't see a ton of bluegill today between the high number of bass and all the other predators in here like black crappie, and we stock walleye and saugai when we can get saugai. That's a hybrid between walleye and sauger. Does better in a warmer lake like Burke Lake is than a pure walleye. It's more of a cool water fish. We didn't see any muskie today, but we do stock those, and there were some here we saw earlier in the spring. In March, we were night shock and tagging walleye and saugais as part of a different project. So we've got the walleyes are doing very well in here. We've got both the bullhead, huge catfish, and channel catfish in here, and plus some big blues that people illegally stock. If you catch those, please take those out. If you catch snakeheads, we're still asking people to take them home and eat them. They don't have to. They can catch them and release them if they want to, but they're really good fish to eat. We encourage people to take them home and grill them, fry them, bake them. There's no wrong way to cook a snakehead. They're just real delicious fish to eat. Early May, water temperature was right on the money. Textbook for largemouth spawning is around 68 all week, depending on where we've been. The water temperature's been hovering 68 to 70, 71. So we're right in the thick of it. The bass, a lot of them had the eroded anal and caudal fin, where you can tell they've been fanning those beds. So the fish are engaged in spawning activity, which is one of the reasons we do the survey now, because the whole population is vulnerable to the gear. We don't just get a snapshot of one portion of the population. We see the whole thing, which is good. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, we've got some cool water coming in, some cool weather, and so that'll keep those fish shallow for a little while, probably protract that spawning season for a few weeks. But everything really looks nice here. We saw some huge black crappie today. Phenomenal. I mean, fish that were 14 inches plus, and they're spawning right now too. You can tell the male crappie are very dark. The red ear sunfish are spawning right now. So we caught a 12-inch red ear sunfish. That's a citation. It's a huge red ear by even in Florida, that's a big red ear. So Burke Lake right now is offering some really fantastic fishing. Largemouth, red ear sunfish, black crappie, saugai walleye, even muskie. For those people that want to get out, it's probably better a little earlier in the year for muskie people. But people do pretty well trolling a little deeper once the reservoir sets up into a thermocline in a stratification pattern, and typically those cooler water fish like walleye and muskie are going to be in the base of that thermocline where it's cool and there's still some oxygen. Below the thermocline, there's not going to be a lot of oxygen. So people that like to slow troll, target maybe 7 to 8 feet once that thing sets up here in another month, maybe June, early July. I've got some friends that love to bank fish here and sort of stalk and wade. They're primarily fishing for snakeheads, but they enjoy catching bass as well. There's not a wrong way to fish Burke. If you want to fish off the pier, we've got a beautiful pier here, or just off the bank. There's bank access on 218 acres. It's hard to find that anywhere. And then, of course, kayaking, canoeing, stalking along the bank and kind of wading out and long casting into a weedless lure into that grass bed for bass and snakes. So there's really not a bad way to go here. You've got a lot of options. You can rent a boat from the Park Authority. So sky's the limit, really.